Yeah. Well, I would have a forest full of trees if I turned a new leaf every time I broke a promise that I thought I would keep. And I'ma harbor that in secret. It's hard to hear your feedback. I'm playing like the Phantom of the Opera on a keypad. Hopping off the deep end happily, ain't no wisdom in my teeth left. Just cavities. I've been trying to keep my feet wet. Walking over water, about to run a little farther. Doing an Our Father, but you probably atheist. I'm still speeding like Dennis Hopper. There's a bomb up on this bus, so where the fuck's Keanu Reeves at? You best to relax. I'm staying on my grind, feeling Amy off this wine like I ain't going back to rehab. Feeling like a bipolar reject. I'm even high when I'm sober, and my mind's a solar eclipse. A born-again fetus who should have been aborted. Hopped about my mommy's chest like, what's up, I'm important. That was morbid, dog. And kinda sorta wrong, but nothing's off limits. I've been ripping down walls like Gorbachev. I do it for my dogs and do it for the cause, yeah. You do it for the blogs and do it for applause, yeah. You do it for the wrong reason, so I have to judge. The beat up on your song is decent, but your rapping sucks. That's why I can't endorse it. But still you're in the stores and people flock with open wallets to cop your garbage recordings. But I keep my hands in my pocket, that's ironic, like Alanis Morissette. I hate this game, but I can't just forfeit. Don't want the fame, but I'll take the fortune. The moolah, they say what you give to it, you end up attracting 2 yards. That's why I put my 2 cents in and got some change back. Guess it all makes sense in my brain, man. My bedroom feels too small for me, but the outside world's like doomsday, honey. I'll go Usain once you say run it. Lot of fish in the sea, but 2 ain't nothing. My bedroom feels too small for me, but the outside world's like doomsday, honey. I'll go Usain once you say run it. Lot of fish in the sea, but 2 ain't nothing. There's a rip tide coming, hold on. I think the sky's falling on us. There's a rip tide coming, hold on. I think the sky's falling on us, yeah. Falling on us, yeah. Falling, yeah. There's a rip tide coming, hold on. I think the sky's falling on us, yeah. Cloud 9 never seemed so far away. Guess there's only so much bullshit I can tolerate. Treat the booth like my pool pit, I'm trying to congregate. But my pursuit of artistry has led my heart astray. I try to stay up on a straight and narrow path, but every time I look, it's like sand from this hourglass is pouring outward. But I'm all about my paper like I'm Jim Halpert. The top is just a shot away, so baby, give me shelter. Yeah, I'm South Philly's own Lil Helper, the Wolf of Broad Street. They call me the young Jordan Belfort. My story developing Corey Feldman the way they can't stand by me, like I just brought him here to see a dead body. Yeah, and that body's mine, so I'm the one you hide behind, trying to find peace in the deep end of this violent mind. Praying for Vegas, bowling for Columbine. Download it for free and sold up on Spotify. Like here, yo, sell your soul up on the dotted line, or stay independent and sell not a dime, just try to grind. Yeah, cause what a time to be alive, ain't it? God would've got more followers if she was Vine famous. But me, I just live free to die painless. I'll be rolling up to heaven's gates late like, hi haters. God is major and I'm grateful for the pain you caused. If I wasn't, I wouldn't have sang you these songs. Like, my bedroom feels too small for me, but the outside world's like doomsday, honey. I'll go Usain once you say run it. Lot of fish in the sea, but 2 ain't.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to another live stream here. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Make sure you read this disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, just an idiot on YouTube. Trading's risky. Most people lose money. You will probably lose money if you trade. Let's get into it. Break down my morning real quick because I am looking at a heavy level of liquidity that popped on Bookmap right about 2 o'clock, about 30 minutes ago, that I would like to potentially trade towards, man. We are, I might not get a shot. We might come down into it right now. Yeah, let's stick to the plan here. Real quick, I'm green, small green in XFAs today. I got one up here showing you guys. I got $200 in it. Hit another green day that I needed. Working on some of these 50K XFAs. Grabbed a payout in one and got a few more that I am looking to do the same as I get more aggressive, put some more risk on, and look to move into... Oh man, I might miss this one. As I look to move into some 150K XFAs and get much more aggressive. Took the conservative route first. That played out very nicely, and here we are. This was really the $200 trade. Very, very aggressive to the upside as price was coming down. All right, I gotta do not look at Bookmap for a second. I'm probably gonna miss this short to the downside. Interested to see what happens as we come down into these 40s on YM. YM on the 5-minute chart. We know what was happening pre-market. We did not have this move in ES or YM or NQ rather. YM decided to sell off. As you can see, this is 9:10 a.m. pre-market. We put this low in, started to bounce. I took this long back towards VWAP, really aggressively, just cracking below price, limit order, about a 40 tick stop loss, 40 tick take profit, 41 ticks, snagged that $200 green day. This one was a missed short, again, really aggressive as prices coming back up towards VWAP, looking for a bounce to the downside that would have paid. Didn't have the confidence to hold this one, really right after missing one that played out nicely. That was just the deal. Would have been a winner. Opened and closed it in a separate XFA for about $16 and change in profit. So let's get directly into trading. I'm going to get a combine loaded up here. We got one that's like $1,200 from passing. But first, since I opened my mouth about the 50K that was also in profit as well, here is the second one, $16 green. And let's get over to an XFA. Excuse me, let's get over to a combine. Have to push these last couple so I can be done with them, man. Get into some 150s. Yeah, nice. Let's run it, boys. Let's run it. Let's get rid of all this fun stuff. If you guys got questions on that, feel free to ask. But I am going to show you what I'm looking at here on Bookmap quickly because I might jump right into something here. Here is Bookmap. Bookmap is my favorite order flow tool. You can use traditional depth of market from a number of different sources. This is a subscription software that gives you live liquidity in the market. Here's what I'm looking at. Really big standout level that was not on the book before. All of this crap above and below price really doesn't help me out too much. You can read the book as it's moving. The way that I do it is I like to look for these super duper Christmas light standout levels, showing me a large stack of orders on the book. Price likes to be drawn to these. This one, we don't have liquidity down below, and we're going to come down into it right now. Yeah, I am missing this one. I'm going to watch to see what happens as we come down into this, into all of these orders here. We do have some up at 43,200 as well, the 200s. But this is down in the 40s. So let's take a look and see what happens as we come down into this. We may get an opportunity here. I'd like to see these fill and then potentially fade this and take a long. I think it's a pretty good chance that we come all the way down, tap this zone, crack these lows before that. And I would look for a long play to the upside. Could short right into it. Just not a great risk structure. A little bit higher up, maybe somewhere up here. I would have went for that. But let's watch and see what happens. Again, we got a big stack of orders down here, right about 45. If I just want to be even with it. So as we come down in, right, let's just say what we can expect. An increase in volatility. I think we're going to see some volume traded that should show up down here on the traditional volume right here on TopstepX. We may see some volatility. We may see a quick swipe through. We may not come into it at all. We may just hang out above. But that's what I'm watching right now. This is why I really do like using Bookmap. Allows me to know that, hey, we got a huge stack of orders here. Not below a low, not something that I would really know about unless I had order flow up on the side with level 2 data. So coming to tap that right now. Let's see. Sitting right above it. And I know I jumped through that morning review pretty quick, but I want to take a look and see if we get a setup here, man. Let's see. There we go. Coming down into it. Not really reacting. Staying on the book. Nothing too much. We're not down at the 45 yet. Let's see. Guys got questions, feel free. Ooh, there we go. Ask in the chat, ask in Discord. Be happy to talk with you guys in a bit. For right now, I'm locked in. Watching Bookmap over here on the right-hand side. Just to see if we are going to crack right through this, man. Yeah, I'm tempted to fade this. It's kind of a dangerous play, but I'm a dangerous kind of guy. 42... I'd have to run a pretty wide stop because I think it's reasonable that we come all the way down, crack this low if we find some movement through these orders. Let's just take a look. ES is still selling off. NQ has kind of been ranging, chopping around these lows. And YM has been selling off down towards the lows of the session. I'm going to watch this one on the side. Again, guys, looking at Bookmap together. If I have it up on this screen, I can't trade, but this is what I'm looking at. Big stack of orders. You can see it on the book, on the DOM right here, right around this 40, yeah, a little bit below, right on this 42 level. I'm tempted to look for a buy right down in here. I think we come into this, potentially fill, and we see those orders fuel a move to the upside. Could be wrong on that. This could be a big push to the downside pretty aggressively if we get through that. So I'm going to take a quick look and look to get a trade on. Again, a little bit more aggressive, obviously much more aggressive in the combines rather. I need to put about 1,200 bucks on this one before Friday. And I'm not letting any of these rebill. You want more details on that, man? My trading, my game plan going forward. After taking the conservative route, here we go. Hop in the free Discord. I post long-winded messages about that. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well. I'll talk about it in detail. Let's see. We're sitting right above. Ooh, there's some volume being traded. Okay. Trade a little bit there. Locking in, guys. This is what I like to see here in the afternoon, right? At the extreme of the day, we've got kind of a pivotal spot on Bookmap that I'm looking at, and might have an opportunity here on the 5-minute without going for something ridiculously scalpy. I'm not looking at it up here. I really don't want to buy into it just yet. Again, counter to the day, right? Pretty damn counter trend, counter to this coming down. A short is what I would look for right now, gun to my head, for about 20 points to the downside. Don't have a good way to structure risk if we don't continue down into this. But I'd be really surprised if we didn't come down and fill these orders right here. Maybe through the 40s, right about 39 looks like the low end of it. But I've watched that happen before. Just because I'm surprised doesn't mean it ain't gonna happen. But I want to see this crack down, buyer step in, fill these orders, maybe before this low. Maybe we crack it and I catch a bounce to the upside. That's my play right here. Really quick scalpy type move using Bookmap would be too short down into it. Fixed TP, looking to snag it as these orders came down and filled. But we're not coming down just yet. Let's see. Let's see what we got. There was some volume traded in this candle right here. Let's see. Wonder if I pull one of these moves, if you guys can see both of these. I won't be able to trade at the same time, but we'll be able to watch them together. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, we can watch that together. Here's what I'm looking at right here on Bookmap. This level sitting right here. Again, I'm not going to trade right into it. Gun to my head, I'm taking a short because I think we can see some volatility coming down in, some volume traded as we start to fill these orders. I'm looking to see how far this candle potentially cracks to the downside if we come in and fill these orders on Bookmap. And I want to look long. Really aggressive would be a limit buy somewhere down in here. But It's an interesting spot with a low down here looking left and and an area of interest down below. If you guys are interested in Bookmap, full disclaimer, I'm partnered with Bookmap. I was using Bookmap before I was partnered with them. I am partnered with Bookmap. You can find link in the description of this video if you want to check it out for a heavy discount. It's a subscription, order flow software. You need level 2 data. And I can answer more questions on it once I'm not so locked into this trade. Yeah, it looks real. Also, it doesn't look like BS. We started to come down into it right here, and you can see the volume that was traded. We come down into this. I think we're going to see volume traded. I think we're going to get a nice big volume bubble. We should see some volatility. I just don't know if the bottom's going to fall out on this one. Again, in a situation like this, I'm more tempted to fade it. To look for a long right down around here. I'm just not going to be the first one to the party. Let's take a look, man. Not a bad way that we could watch it, though. Let's see what we get here in Dow. Pretty volatile day, though, man. ES and NASDAQ tore to the downside. Dow was really early on that move. But I'm a little bit early here for Power Hour. 2:45. We're not in Power Hour yet. So, do we get a nice setup here? Fixing to find out, as they say in the South. Let's take a look and see, man. If you hopped on here, I appreciate you being here. Feel free, hit like, hit subscribe. You don't have to do anything. I'm here trading live. Whether it's nobody watching or a ton of you guys watching. But I appreciate you, so thank you for being here. Let's see if we get a trade on, man. Again, this would be a Bookmap-based trade. Obviously utilizing market structure and price action at its core. As you can see by my chart, I run a pretty simple discretionarily marked chart along with a VWAP line and traditional volume down on the bottom, those vertical volume bars. Outside of that, I got Bookmap sitting over to the left. Every once in a while, I take a look at ES and NQ. Doesn't really seem to help me here on Dow because it just lives in its own world. And if you're trading the ES chart on Dow, you're in for a rude awakening. But you guys get my approach, the way that I trade. All that fun stuff for free. Hop in the free Discord if you're not already. Live trading almost every day. Analysis, questions answered, all that fun stuff. Badass community of traders. Guys doing well, trading XFAs, passing combines. Guys blowing accounts. All the real stuff, man. Not Wall Street bets. No BS. Yeah, again, man, just staring at this chart, seeing if we get something. I'm anticipating a quick push to the downside through these orders. Watch them fill. If more liquidity starts to show up on the book below, outside of this just BS algorithmic stuff that never seems to fill, it just tracks above and below price, I may be hesitant to jump right into a long. But I could see us just swiping this low here and an opportunity for a really nice bounce to the upside. Back towards VWAP, back towards these lows. I think this could be the crack lower. Don't really have a good way to trade into it, although I would like to, because that's where I'm anticipating price will go first. Don't have a good risk structure for that. If I sold down here, I'm only looking at a few points, 10 to 15 points, and I don't want to run a 10 to 15 point stop loss. Let's see it. Let's see it. Again, watching this right here. It's not that much on the book now that we're coming in to clear it. It's not that much. It's something, but it ain't that much. Yeah, that's some of it coming off. That's what it looks like. Right at 41, we got some sitting, but outside of that, it's not a whole ton. There's some volume being traded. Do we crack through the 41s? At the 46s. Struggling really to blast right through it though. Yeah, this will be interesting, man. Oops, sorry for making you guys dizzy, just adjusting the chart. Let's see. Let's see. No, not a whole big reaction, man. Not a whole lot. Just kind of chopping around right here. See what the boys from Discord, what's going on. Young traders, I look book that, but sometimes the order blocks keep moving. Yes, the liquidity does move. It moves in real time. Trend can move. It is something that you have to watch, and just like any other tool, not going to work, 100% of the time. But you guys got questions, feel free ask in Discord. Every once in a while, I'll check the chat, the live chat, and I'll try to pick out some good questions. Jordan, what's up? Let's see. Nice trading, man. No, I don't always run a stop loss at 40 points. I run it wider, but I base it on volatility. I base it on market structure. I base it on where a potential target's going to go, and I position size accordingly. So I don't always run a fixed point or tick stop loss when I trade. Should we stick to the trend? Is it better to trade with the trend? That's really subjective, man. It's hard to say which way the trend actually is, because you might be looking at a different time frame than I'm looking at. You may just have an opinion that we are trending down, and I have an opinion that we're trending up. In general, a lot of those sayings I believe hold true. The trend is your friend. The market suffers from inertia. Stop trying to pick the low and pick the high, and just capture some of that move within that trend. So I do believe that, but again, it's kind of subjective. It's easy to say, hey, we're trending down right now, but if I zoom out a whole lot and I look at the 30-minute, then we're actually trending up, right? Because it's the US indices and they've been pushing to the upside. And can you explain bookmap? Basic explanation. While I'm watching this level not fill, find some support down here and crack back up to the upside. Not a ton of movement, but that's definitely a failure to move through. Brief explanation. This is an order flow tool. Order flow meaning we are looking at level 2 data. This is showing current orders on the book. This is resting liquidity above and below current price level. This is Dow, YM, individual price levels, and these are the quantity of resting orders on the book. What we're looking at here in this column is a heat map. This is live liquidity. You see it moving really quickly. And it is being displayed based on how many orders are on the book at each of these individual price levels. When you scroll out and look left, it's like a candlestick chart. This is historical liquidity that was on the book, and you could see it change and move around. This is your best bid and ask price, the green and the red lines, essentially just showing you whatever the spread is right here. But this is price, where price is on at the chart. You can see the actual price level that's showing should line up exactly at the same time. You see we're at 80 right now, 81, 81. That's the current price that YM is trading. These are volume bubbles, similar to the volume that you would have down here and the volume that you would have down on your chart right down here. It is showing you the volume traded. It's showing you overlaid on price, so you can see exactly where volume is traded as price comes down into certain areas, as it comes down into liquidity. You can see, are these orders filled? There's a ton more you can do with Bookmap. There's a data tooltip. You can look for really, really exact things. You can add things onto this. There's so many more configurations you can add that I don't have added on here. It's really, really, really in-depth, intuitive software. You can set this up with different colors, different heat map. You can use footprint charts. You can use candlesticks instead of volume bubbles. A whole bunch of different things you could do with Bookmap. I find it very helpful in the futures market, coming from Forex, where I didn't have volume or order flow or any of this fun stuff. This has been really, really, really helpful. You don't have to guess where liquidity is in the futures market. You can see it in real time. You don't have to assume it was swept or that something was filled or not filled. You can see that all with Bookmap. Is this the magic answer to trading? No, I don't think so. I think it's like anything else. Maybe it's a tool that you like. Maybe it's a tool that you don't like. Maybe you experiment with it and you decide for yourself. For me, I find it very, very, very helpful. If you are going to use liquidity in your trading, you're going to talk about liquidity, where it is on a chart. That's going to be part of your approach, your strategy, your entries, your exits. You probably want to use some form of order flow. Probably want to have level 2 data, and you want to have depth of market. You don't have to use Bookmap to view liquidity and to use a depth of market, right? You can use them from your broker. Most trading platforms like TopstepX has a traditional depth of market that's going to look something like this, showing you orders, price level, the whole deal. Bookmap just displays it all in a heat map and gives you a whole bunch more of fun add-ons and things to configure. But again, partnered with Bookmap, full disclaimer, so I can't be unbiased about it. You can grain of salt everything I say. I think they are an awesome company. I think it's an awesome piece of software, and it's been very, very helpful in my trading. Link in the description if you want to check that out. Heavy discount from Bookmap. Again, using it right now, today, where you don't usually see me staring at it on these live sessions because we had some serious level down here. It does look like it started to lighten up. We had, if I zoom in really, really close, you could see right at the 44-ish, we had some orders fill right there. We still have a stack down here at 41 on the book. I'm interested to see, do we come down and fill that? Do we find some support? Where do we go from there? There's a bunch of different ways you can utilize this in your trading. For me, when I'm looking at those big stacks of orders, if we are trending down and we have multiple stacks of orders lining up on the book below price, I'm looking for it to not only come down into those levels, but to fill and continue to fill those orders until there's nothing more left, fueling the move to the downside. If we are near a low of the session coming into power hour, based on price action and market structure, I might be looking long after we get down around the lows, maybe just for a bounce back up towards VWAP, and we have like one level sitting here. Maybe I look to fade that. I look to buy as we come down into it. Maybe we fill. I wait for some confirmation. Most of the time, I don't wait for too much confirmation on YM. I enter pretty aggressively, and I look for a bounce of it. For this one, I'm just going to sit patient. I'm actually going to watch it. I don't like how we didn't come right through it here before we pushed back up. And there's not that much there after that first bit seemed to start to fill. So I want to wait to see what happens as we come down into it. Still looking long. Again, we have a low right here, low of session on YM. We have an area of interest, a discretionary level I have marked on my chart. You can call it support and resistance. You can call it an order block. You call it whatever you want. It's a gray rectangle that I have where I might want to pay attention that price might come down into that, give me a way to structure a trade or take a trade. So I'm looking for us to get a little bit lower, see what happens. If the floor absolutely falls out on this thing, I don't want to be in long. I'd like for us to come down lower first. Maybe give me a really aggressive entry to take a bounce back up to the upside. If we just blast through this level, maybe I look for a break and retest short. But I'm going to hang out and watch. Can I just buy level 2 data on TopStep and connect Bookmap via Tradeovate to see level 2 data? Yes. Yes, you can. You can buy, you can subscribe to level 2 data, and you can trade straight from Bookmap. You can trade directly from Bookmap itself. I don't. Or you can just buy level 2 data from TopstepX and use TopstepX's or Tradeovate's depth of market. Well, excuse me. Hold on. Can I buy level 2 data on TopStep and connect to Bookmap? No. No, you can't. You need level 2 data that's going to connect to Bookmap if you're going to use Bookmap specifically. I know they have all of the common providers. I don't believe from TopStep you can connect that data. Not 100% sure, but I don't believe so. I use Bookmap data directly from them. I know you can use Rhythmic. I know you can use DXFeed. I don't know about anything else. But straight from their site, they're going to tell you what level 2 data providers you can use. So no, you can't buy level 2 data from TopStep and use it on TopstepX and then also connect it to Bookmap and Tradeovate. That's the answer to that one. But yeah, to be clear, with any depth of market, you're going to want level 2 data. Level 2 data is a separate subscription, unless you're getting it for free somewhere from some site. I know Bookmap has some partnerships with different brokers, and maybe you get Bookmap for free and level 2 data for free. If you just wanted to buy the stuff outright, it's a subscription to use Bookmap. Bookmap's a paid software. And then like any order flow tool, you need a subscription to level 2 data. Like if you were going to use Sierra charts and run footprint charts, you need a subscription to level 2 data that works with Sierra charts. I hope that explains it. It's a little bit complicated. When I came over from futures, I didn't know anything about this, and I'm still not the expert on it, but that's the deal. It's level 2 data, which is a separate subscription that you would use for any depth of market or order flow tool, or that you would want to use. And if you use Bookmap, Bookmap is its own subscription. It's a paid software. Again, you don't have to use level 2 data at all. You don't have to use order flow. You might say this stuff is confusing and and I don't need to know where liquidity is. You might say a traditional depth of market is fine. I don't need the heat map, and I'm just going to use depth of market from Tradeovate, and I'm going to run a level 2 data feed into that. That might be cool for you. For me, having Bookmap over on the side with level 2 data, super sweet, man. I get my traditional candlestick chart, most of what I'm watching, my price action, market structure, basic volume tools, and then Bookmap doing its thing over on the side. Really, really helpful. That's kind of coming off the book, guys. That's not there anymore. That's how I'm reading this. Take a look at that. And if I zoom back out, you can see the quantity that was down here at the 41s, and you can see it start to come off the book right here. So I'm not so interested in this level anymore. That is the example of this thing changing. Liquidity moving around on it. Still may get liquidity. Still may get volatility and volume coming down into it, but there's not a big stack of orders resting there anymore. We just have this liquidity provider, algorithmic, liquidity bands. They're called a whole bunch of different stuff, but essentially this algo liquidity that just tracks above and below price and does not stay on the book the way resting orders will. So move this back over to the side and we'll watch the candlestick chart. No pressure, man, for sure. If you got questions, hop in the free Discord, man. Happy to talk to you about it. Again, link I will throw, since I was showing it so much, I will throw that one in the chat. Again, guys, if you got questions, feel free to ask in the Discord. I'll pick select questions out of the chat because it's been distracting with a bunch of trolls. Bookmap. There's my link. Boom. There we go. There we go. Coming down through that level. got some volatility being traded. Got some movement happening here. Some volume being traded, rather. But not a whole bunch of orders filled. You can see it in the volume bubbles on Bookmap. If I come back over, sorry for making you guys dizzy here. You can see that those orders really didn't stay on the book. Yes, we had some volume traded right down here, but not a huge, massive amount as if we came down and actually filled a whole bunch of orders here. We did reject from that area pretty quickly on a really, really zoomed in time frame, but not exactly what I'm looking for when I'm utilizing it. But Bookmap, the X-ray vision of the market. I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but that's the tool. that's the movie that I think of where he's got heat vision, staring at all the guys, that like night vision looking stuff. So let's see what we get on YM, man. I'm tempted to try this really aggressively long. I don't think that we just absolutely sell off for the end of the day here. I think we rotate back up into the range, mainly basing that off of an edgeful stat. Although it does look like we are going to put a new low of session in power hour. But I'll talk about the power hour stat real quick as well from edgeful. Well, first I'm going to see what happens here before I jump into put anything else up on my chart. But I appreciate you guys being here, man. Hit like, hit subscribe, help me out. I'm a better trader and coach than I am a social media person or content creator, or whatever lame name that you want to give for someone that trades live on YouTube. But feel free, help me out. If you don't want to, you don't have to. If you think I suck, you can hit the dislike button if there's a dislike button. But it helps me, so feel free to help me help you. And again, you guys got questions, feel free, hop in the free Discord. I'm happy to speak with you in there. Analysis every day. Questions answered. Awesome community of traders. And if you're actually interested in working with me one-on-one, I have one paid program where I do that over the course of 5 weeks in a real trader coach one-on-one style program. About 60 plus hours. Wow, there we go. I'm tempted to take this thing on a long bounce from down here. I just want to see if we come down into the zone. There's a sweep of the session low. This is pretty aggressive, guys. This is pretty aggressive. I do like this zone though. I like how it was tested here and we just absolutely blasted off to put these highs in. I think we're gonna find some buyers down here. That's what I'm looking at. Really, really aggressive entry. Counter to this immediate trend. Counter to the day. If I'm wrong, I'll be wrong very quickly. I'd like to get it from somewhere down in this zone if I'm not going to wait for any confirmation, which I don't want to do. And I'd probably run a little bit wider of a stop loss, something like 60 ticks. But I'm going to go for... yeah, I think there's going to be some exhaustion down here. That's my game plan. Watching on Bookmap over to the side. Nothing crazy, man. Nothing crazy. Not anymore. Ooh. Checking ES and NASDAQ are absolutely selling off too. Yeah, this is a dangerous play. This is a dangerous play. I'm not going to find a short on this that I see. That's my hang up there. But I'm gonna look for a quick bounce if we come down into this. Start with one super aggressively. Do we crack this low? Let's see. Let's see it. Really zoomed out on the 5 minute here. Again, combine that I gotta get a little bit more aggressive in, so I'm okay taking something that's valid if it sets up. Waiting for a little bit further of a push down. down below this low and here. I think we sweep that and we got room for a bounce. $60 stop loss. We're going to bounce before we get down there. Into the zone. Look at that. Into the zone. 30-point bounce back up. Damn. Again, guys, like I was talking about yesterday, really early in the morning, I'm not really waiting for a crack down below lows. Sometimes I am. This morning I did that. In the afternoon session, I'm looking for a crack down below here. If I'm going to trade from an extreme, I want a really extreme entry. And I want to run a stop loss where if I'm wrong, I'm absolutely dead wrong. And the price is just going to melt down to the ground. And it's going to be a short play all day. Again, I don't have a way to structure risk on a short. I don't know that we continue all the way lower here coming into the afternoon. We had a really, really big correction today. And I am looking for a bit of a rotation back up into the zone. Not trying to be a bottom picker. Oh, there it is. Here's the bounce coming. Middle of the zone would have paid so far. Looking at these lows over here. Wanted to see a sweep of that. That we almost put an equal low in. 8.6 and this is 8.7. Came down within a point. Let's wait and see. If we crack to the upside and we bounce from here without coming down lower, this idea isn't validated. Locking in a little bit, guys. Let's see what we get, man. Yeah, I think this is the bounce. We weren't going to come down and sweep lows. And I wouldn't go for a home run on this one. Just really a nice bounce that gives me a positive risk to reward. Let's see. No, nothing really crazy helping me on Bookmap at this point. We got a couple orders way down at the 900 level. Not a ton, but enough to pay attention to. That's interesting. Look at the magical level, guys. How did I mark this one off? Take a look. Very, very simple. A nice top over here, a really big important high, and some lows that were tested multiple times. Simple discretionary levels seem to work really well on Dow. I like to pick clean stuff if I can. I get a little bit more liberal, I guess, when it comes to stuff that's right above and below price near the open. But take a look how that one was respected. Yep, this one's not going to give me the entry that I wanted. There's the 50-point bounce, not even from the low, just right in the middle of this zone. Again, that came down pretty harshly. I was looking for a sweep of these real quick. Crack down below here without just absolutely falling out, because I don't really want to be in really quickly and have the bottom fall out. But this is the risk you run if you don't jump in quick on the way down, where I missed the bounce right here. But technically not a missed trade, right? Like, my entry criteria for this one was a sweep of these lows. Tested this area multiple times. I'm looking for a crack right down below here. Just didn't get that on that one. That with a nice 50, 60 point stop loss, we'd be approaching, we'd be approaching a 1-to-1 right about now. So the read was good. Entry, just not there for me, man. Didn't grab my sweep of lows. Little bit aggressive. Just a little bit aggressive on my entry. Missed one from Monday, looking for the same thing really early on. And early on, I'll go from more of the middle of the zone if it's the first test. But there it is, boys and girls. Now let's see what we get from here. We come right back down into it. This long idea is pretty much invalidated for me, though. I'm going for the first test, right? If I'm going to enter stupid aggressive like that, really counter trend, not waiting for any, doji candle or engulfing candles to the upside, I'm just going to slap a limit order or market myself in, maybe join bid. I'm going to do it on the first test. If I miss it and we bounce to the upside like we are right now, that move back down, I don't want to buy a second time. So I'm gonna see what we do from here. But middle of the zone would have played for a little bounce play. That's large trade alerts. Let me turn that back off so Bookmap doesn't yell at me. Answering again, man. I'm being selective on questions from the live chat, but I know some of you guys from here. So what's up? Does your 4-hour candle open at 10 a.m. and close at 2 p.m.? Just want to see if I'm seeing the same thing. On YM, yeah, let me know if this is what you're looking at, brother. Does that look about right? Let me know. That would be the 10 a.m. This would be the 2 p.m. 1400 would be 2 p.m. Eastern. Awesome. Nice. Glad I could help. It's a simple one. Used to trade, yeah, man, ES. Was big on ES for a while. Jump back over to Dow. Been hammering the practice account for the last week or so, trying to better entries for when I get the XFAs. 5K today with micros. Very nice, dude. Very nice, Mike. Love to hear it, man. Love to hear it. Got some guys yapping in Discord. Cool. Yeah, I got sharing stuff. Love it, man. Love this community. Yeah, guys, I'm going to wait and see what we get from here. Again, here was my bounce play right from the middle of this zone. This would have paid with a sweep below. Again, I was going to look for a 50-60 tick stop loss, a 50-60 point stop loss on this. This would have paid for a 1-to-1. As I said, not looking for a home run on any of these. I don't know that I would have closed at 1-to-1, or I would have just gone stop loss to break even and targeted something like a crack back up above this level of structure. But that trade would have played so far. I was looking for a little bit deeper of a push down, right about here. Broke down a trade I waited for on Monday and didn't get filled. Very, very similar to this. But it's part of it, man. You know, you set your entry criteria and you wait for that. It's not a missed trade if it didn't set up for you. It'd be a missed trade if it came down, gave me exactly what I was looking at, and I just, was asleep at the wheel, didn't hit the buy button, which happens. Then you journal that as a missed trade. But yeah, Dow's been not sweeping lows, not cracking lows, cracking highs the way that it likes to. But that's all good. We'll hang out and watch. Rock pool. Nice work on. Yeah, man. Thank you, Mike. Not an Ironman. It was just an ultra marathon. 50 miles running through the woods. It was 5-10 mile loops. It was pretty brutal, man. Solid work on the psychology and mental side of doing something really, really hard. I encourage you guys to step out of your comfort zone, and even if that's going for a 5-minute walk, whatever it is. I'm not a great runner. That wasn't a great finish time. There were people there that were running much longer than I was running. So, big things, big goals are going to be different for everybody. But that one was pretty gnarly, man. That's Iron Man from what I see. I got you, man. Yeah. Cold plunge, baby. Yeah, man. Pick something hard. That's a great one. I think it translates really well to trading. Really, really well to trading and other areas in your life where you need discipline and you need to overcome those limiting self-beliefs that keep you from hitting your goals. I talked about it yesterday, but the stream got all jacked up. I had like only 5 or 10 people on. It kept cutting out. So apologies if you were on yesterday and you got cut out on that one. But that race was pretty gnarly, man. Mile 30 was in a hole. The first 25-ish miles went really, really well. Mile 30, headache, legs hurting, hip hurting, a lot of pain. I had to let my brother-in-law go. He was running with me, and I was starting to hold him up. And I had to sit at that aid station, really wanting to quit and doubting that I would be able to finish it, and asking myself why I was out here running this stupid race that nobody cares about. You get that demon that starts to creep in. You're not good enough for this. You have no business being out here. You're just going to get hurt. You're never going to finish. Why don't you just wrap it up, go home, and have a beer and eat McDonald's? And eventually you got to say, I'll fucking die out here before I do that. I'll crawl my ass to the finish line, and I will finish this race no matter what I have to do. And if you leave yourself with no option but win, for you, obviously not win, you do what you got to do, man. So got my second wind and continued on. So it was cool, man. It was very hard. Didn't go how it planned, right? Just like trading, took longer than I wanted it to. Had to deal with unexpected challenges and got to that finish line, man. Sweet feeling. So again, I think it translates well. I don't talk about a lot of stuff outside of trading. I talk about that endurance sports, doing hard stuff deal, because it helped me. Really helps me, and I think it can help others. So again, maybe it's not sports or endurance related. Maybe it's a cold plunge. Maybe it's just reading or doing something, not doing something that's hurting you. Whatever it is, man. Challenge yourself. Set a small goal. Do what you can to hit it. And if you fail, get right back up and do it. I've been there before as well. You don't always get it the first time. Usually don't get it the first time. So. Got to think about what Goggins will say. Yeah, man. What would Goggins say? Love that. Love that, man. Yeah, watching this bounce play out, man. Didn't get my entry again, guys. Was looking for a long down here. Bookmap wasn't really helping me out as we came down into this level, the 40s. I was looking for a bunch of orders on the book where we might start to bounce from here. Waited that out. Was really looking for a sweep down below these lows. A quick crack down below, I'd be hitting the buy button as soon as we started to hesitate. Just trying to avoid a situation where we crack and absolutely melt. So I'm not buying, limit in. A limit order at the middle of the zone would have played very nicely for, a nice 300 something bucks so far on one mini. Would have been pretty sweet. But we sit, we watch. I'll journal that one. But yeah, man, if you guys got questions, feel free to ask in Discord. I'm going to be selective about the stuff that I pick from the live chat, only because it's been bogging me down with trolls. Not you guys. You guys are awesome. Let's take a look at what we got on NASDAQ. Creeping lower, found some support just down below these lows right here at this level. Looking at S&P. Oh, man, what a move out of ES. Wow. Yeah, it was interesting, man, because coming into the open, these were just chopping around, right? Like here's 930. Let's look at it together. Here's 930 on ES. $930 on NASDAQ. Check out Dow. Dow was ripping to the downside. Here's 930. We already had this big push. So Dow was leading the sell-off, man. Really leading the sell-off today. Interesting. Ended up coming all the way back up and chopping around for sure. Again, a couple trades off of VWAP. First test of VWAP. I like those. My morning trade, quick long over here, cracking below this low in pre-market. Got that bounce. That was my first $200 trade. This one over here, I missed. It would have played out really nicely. Just didn't have the confidence to hold whatever the second trade I took over here was and closed it out for 20 bucks. Ended up like 16 bucks green on the second P&L. Damn it, Dow. Didn't give me my entry, man. Didn't give me my entry, Dow. My nice sweep below the lows. That's all right. We'll hang. Surgery canceled midnight. Dang, man. I got you. Mike, good luck. Good luck, brother. Good luck on that surgery. Why have you switched from ES to YM? So, long answer, man. I know you asked that one kind of twice. Long answer. Let me just give you the short answer. Preference. How about that? I'll just give you the short answer. ES was okay. I was getting really zoomed in. Looking at the 100-tick chart. Really choppy through the last couple months. I've got the most experience. This is the long answer. I've got the most experience trading Dow as US 30 coming from CFDs. I like the way it moves. I was trying to generate a really high frequency of trades. Maybe a little subconsciously doing it for live streaming, trying to get into trades. And Dow doesn't provide me that many opportunities. Although I have a nice edge on Dow. I like the way that it moves. I like to enter really aggressively with Dow and love the way that it respects my really nice discretionary levels like you're seeing right now. So I'm back on Dow. I run it on the 5-minute chart. I don't run the 1 minute or the 100-tick. 5 minutes seems to be appropriate for me. Again, just preference there. Not a lot of guys trade Dow. I'm aware of that. I like Dow. Just going to do whatever's best for the P&L. So I hope that that answers the question. I was going to answer it short, and then I answered somewhat long there. ES, I'll keep going. The move from NQ to ES was initially based on risk. With TopStep, you weren't able to trade micros at the same purchasing power that you were able to trade minis. Trading minis on NASDAQ was brutal. Moved over to ES, ended up liking ES. Then TopstepX came out with you can trade the same amount of micros as you can purchasing power wise, as you can minis. So you can trade 50 micros instead of just 5 micros. So at that point, it really didn't matter. I was able to go back to NQ or Dow or do whatever I wanted, but I decided to just focus up on ES and become a specialist on ES. Again, ended up getting a little bit more zoomed in, not really loving the structure. I still do like ES. I like the trades that I was taking on it. Just felt like a change up to Dow was in store. Coming back to something that I have a lot of experience on and really like the movement. Again, not as great for live trading because I don't have a bunch of these really small breakout style trades that I was doing my best to find on ES. But I love the setups and the wins that I grab on Dow. It's really, really sweet. So preference though, man. You might love crude oil, you might love gold, you might love platinum. There's no problem, man. There's going to be successful traders across all different instruments. You know, whatever you find works well for your approach, your personality. You know, you go with that. I think the way that I trade, the way that most guys trade, can translate well between instruments. I would just say that I think, especially on the low time frames, becoming a specialist, just focusing on one instrument, like just focusing on ES, just focusing on NASDAQ, you're going to be better than someone that's focusing on, all of them, trying to trade all of them. that was a little bit of a change up coming from futures into this year as well. I was trading a lot of different futures pairs. Decided when I got down to the low time frames for NYSE session, really better just to focus on one, stare at one chart. Again, opinion, preference. You might say that's a dumb idea. There's more setups across different instruments. You're cutting yourself short. That's fine. I think I'm going to be better reading market structure and price action and discerning that to the best of my abilities and building my intuition if I stare at one 5-minute chart all day, every day. So that's the long answer there that I was trying to avoid saying, but you got it anyway, brother. Hope that answered the question. But yeah, I encourage you to check it out, man. If you like NASDAQ and ES, I think you may like Dow. It is kind of whippy. There's big back and forth movements. It likes to move zone to zone. It likes to sweep above highs and lows. So if you like a slower, tighter trending instrument, it might not be for you, but there's some pretty sweet opportunities on Dow. Loves VWAP, loves to react around VWAP, loves to come back to VWAP. There's some pretty easy setups to be found on Dow. Again, that's subjective. That's my opinion. For you, it might suck. You might say Dow's the worst thing in the world, right? Like, not good at all. And that's the beauty about trading. We can do it multiple different ways and make money. Find what works for you. That's the important piece there. So just watching what we get from here. Again, middle of the zone would have played out pretty nicely for a really aggressive buy. At the max, low of this candle. Would have got something like 85 points from the absolute low. Again, was looking for a sweep down below these lows, looking for a really aggressive entry before it bounced to the upside. Figured testing this one a second time, cracking below this low. We had a nice sweep down below here in store, but just coming right down into this discretionary level, which is based off of this high over here. Tested multiple times. No magic, right? Doesn't always work out like that. Easy in hindsight to have that stuff on your chart, but that's how I use my discretionary levels, along with market structure and price action and VWAP and volume and order flow sitting over here on the right-hand side. It's a combination. It's a combo meal. But we'll hang out here coming into the last 30 minutes of the session. Again, guys, this would have been a nice little crack to the upside to catch, but just didn't get it today. I am tempted to review a little bit more. Grabbing price really before it cracks the lows, right before it cracks whatever lows I'm looking at, versus actually waiting for it. How many trades am I going to miss doing that? For me, it's kind of different times of the day that I look for a little bit different setups. But I think some review is going to be in store, which I always love to do, man. Love looking over charts. But man, if you're still on here, I appreciate you, man. Hit like, hit subscribe. Feel free. If not, hit dislike. That's fine. Hop in the free Discord if you want an awesome free trading community, not a VIP feeder program where to get my signals you have to do something. I don't do any of that stuff. I have one paid program. It's one-on-one coaching where we trade together every single day over the course of 5 weeks. And then we have multiple one-on-one sessions where we build you into the trader that you know you can become. Not for beginners. This is for guys that have some experience and are working with tilt, working with something on the emotional side, the risk management side. That's who it's best suited for. It's a bunch of free stuff out there. You can hop in my free Discord. You can hop on here on the lives. You can get the basis of how I trade, all that fun stuff for free. If you want to work with somebody one-on-one and get held accountable and review thoroughly for an extended period of time and make serious improvements, happy to talk to you about that. You can book a free 30-minute call to talk to me about that. Hop in the free Discord, go to my site, realdealfutures.com. If not, man, absolutely no pressure. Don't feel like you have to do anything. Yeah, man, interesting. We got a new low here in Power Hour on the 5. Let's take a look at this while we're hanging out. Talked about this one a lot, but it is pretty interesting. I'm going to show you guys two things from Edgeful. Again, full disclaimer: partnered with Edgeful, partnered with Bookmap. I use both of them. I'd use them if I wasn't partnered with them. I had an opportunity to sell out plenty of times along the way. Could have been partnered with a scam Forex prop firm company, driving a Lambo, and signed my soul to burn in hell with the devil a long time ago. So you can grain of salt that. So that's just me talking, but that's the truth. So that said, I can't be unbiased for something that I stand to make money from. But here is Edgeful. Edgeful is a software program that gives you statistics. You can try this stuff out for free, unlike Bookmap where it's just a discount. This one you could try for free for 7 days. You could hop on here, check out your instrument, check out all the information that you want, decide if it's something that you'd like to use. This one's pretty interesting. This is the gap fill report. And I'm going to show you why I like this one and what they have that they're beta testing, which is pretty cool. What this is showing you is if there's a gap up, here is the closing price at 4 p.m. Eastern. Here's the opening price for NYSE session at 9:30 a.m. on the second day. If there's a gap up or a gap down, price is very likely to come back across and fill that gap. It's filled more often than not. You can look at this for a year of data. You can look at this for 6 months of data. You can look at it for 2 years of data. It gives you an example of what this report is, what it measures, how you might be able to use it. You could look at individual days being filled or not filled, the chart itself. Really badass video from these guys explaining it even better than I do. And a trading view indicator, which is really cool. For almost all of these reports, you get a really sweet trading view indicator, which I will show you right here, right now. Here is YM, right? Here's the 5-minute chart. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in regular trading hours so we can really see this gap fill. And here is the gap fill by session report for YM. Today didn't fill. You see we had a gap up and this report is not playing out, did not fill. Here's yesterday, again, cherry picking one. Here's yesterday because I was looking at a long that I missed towards this one. You could have taken a nice long towards that gap fill. The really cool thing about this report, yes, really cool thing, make sure you guys can see this. Really cool thing about this report is they have this what's in play section, if it loads up for me. And it gives you real-time reports as they are open, shows you a streak, like what happened the last couple times, gives you the percent, and here you have the gap down. So early in the morning, right, looking for this to fill, pretty sweet, man. Again, today, not filling, right? Doesn't work every time, just like anything else. But you can trade with an edge using Edgeful. It is giving you stuff that is statistically significant. If you combine that with other tools, market structure, price action, things that you like to utilize for your trading, I find it very, very helpful. Kind of the stuff that you would look for in backtesting. Here's the one that I was going to show you because it is Power Hour. And again, we're breaking this stat as well. Here we go, short. We are putting a new low in right now. Not a common situation. Over the last 6 months of data, let's look at a year. That's excuse me, it's a little bit larger of a sample size. YM from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. only puts a new low of day in 14% of the time. 86% of the time, it's not putting a new low of day in. It's doing it right now. Not a common day. Using these reports can at least make you aware of how price moves more often than not. Sometimes with a really strong statistic. Does it work every day? No. Here it is not working. Both of these reports I showed you today are not playing out today, which is important, right? But utilizing these in your trading, if you're not going to build a trade around them, a strategy around them, just being aware. Excuse me, guys. Just being aware of them, the statistic that you're trading with or against, I find very helpful. Some of it was pretty obvious to me, like I kind of could have guessed it. Some of it not so obvious. This is one that's not so obvious for me. Again, gives you the full scope of everything, showing you high of day, low of day, not broken in power hour. Pretty sweet. Edgeful, link in the disclaimer. Link in the description. I'll throw it in the chat as well, man. You can check Edgeful out for free. As we're coming into power hour here, sweep below the lows. Again, guys, I'm not looking for a long on this one. Not the way that I trade. If I'm going to look for a really aggressive buy, right, from a zone or off of VWAP, I want the first test. If I'm going to enter counter trend, or maybe just counter to the immediate trend, like maybe I'm looking short up here. Man, I gotta fix this cough. Excuse me. Maybe I'm looking short up here. I'm looking for the first short. Looking for the first test. I don't want to get short after it chops around, after it does something, after it does a second test, or pushes farther back up or down. Same thing from down here. This was my entry. I was looking for a sweep down below these lows and then a crack back up to the upside, which we got. We just didn't sweep down below the lows. Entry right at this zone would have paid. If I grabbed a 1-to-1, like I said, after I was kind of measuring this out, I don't know that I would have grabbed 50 ticks. If you're in a XFA, this would have been a nice $200 day, $300 day, right? Grab 60. Not bad. So we'll see what the rest of the week has for us, man. Let's kind of just do some like forward looking as we're coming into the end, and I'm not looking like I get a trade on. Interesting structure, right? Pulled all the way back down off these highs. Similar on ES and NASDAQ. Really big correction. Do we hold this uptrend and this is going to be our gnarly pullback off the highs before we just crack back up? Or are we going to continue this weakness and just send it to the ground, man? Not sure. Could go either way, right? I don't need to speculate on that. I'm going to be aware of where we're at, right? We're not at all-time highs. Looking at Dow. We are off all-time highs. Pretty bearish day after a really bullish day. Got some volatility this week for sure. Something to be aware of. If you're trading minis, maybe you want to drop to micros, structure your risk so you're not taking on way more. Give yourself the ammunition that you need to trade. If I look at news, let's take a look at what we got coming up for this week. Basic news site, forexfactory.com. You can tell I used to trade Forex. We got red folder, retail unemployment, 8:30 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, along with Philly Fed, manufacturing index, looks like 11 a.m. crude oil. So this is pre-market, not really that bad to deal with. This is during the morning session, not that bad. And then we got some more orange folder on Friday. So not terrible. If you're trading pre-market, I would definitely be aware of this. Maybe it kicks us into gear. Maybe it messes up and just gives us a whole bunch of ugly structure to trade off of. But something to note if you are trading. But yeah, fairly clear. Oh, it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Nothing tomorrow. Sorry, guys. We got a day in between there. Really nothing tomorrow. And then Thursday, 8:30 a.m. And then Friday, we got some orange folder. So not a whole lot, man. I'm hoping this volatility continues. I like to trade with it. It presents really nice, quick trade opportunities like you saw me take today in the morning session, what I was reviewing today. Gives me some sweet setups. I'm hoping this does continue. I will be trading my XFAs in the morning. Again, still working with 50Ks. I'm looking to trade those much more aggressively. I have more ones passed on backup. I have combines here that I'm trying to get either passed or failed, and then eventually move into the 150Ks. I don't want to just get greedy and blow through XFAs and combines because I want to get myself to 150Ks. That doesn't make any sense, does it? No. But I'm going to get much more aggressive, accepting the risk of blowing the XFAs that I have. Trading much more aggressively that I have ones on backup. Man, we're getting a bounce down from below here as well. And eventually look to start trading the 150K XFAs, jumping into those combines. More room to work, more risk. Started small. Again, hop in the free Discord if you want to hear me yap all about that, why I do what I do, the path that I took, how long it took, all of that stuff. All the way to grabbing, getting paid out by TopStep. Small payout, but time to lever up, man. Put some money behind your trading. If you have stuff that's working well for you, great. Put some risk on. If you have that, you're in that financial situation to do that, fantastic. If you're just starting out, or if you haven't done it before, even if you are experienced and you're coming to a different market, you're coming to a different firm and a different platform, like I was this year, maybe you don't just start copy trading, packs of 550K combines and run through them and then copy trade 150K XFAs until you trade 150K combine at a time and you get to XFAs, and maybe you trade those conservatively and you don't lose them, and you work yourself towards a payout. Maybe it is really frustrating. It takes way longer than you wanted to, like it did for me. But just like that 50-mile race, man, set your goals and stick to them. Do what it takes to hit them. Don't get greedy. Don't get ahead of yourself. And scaling up is always there, right? Talk about that a lot, especially with the prop firm stuff. I believe prop firms trading, for the most part, yes, you can scale from really, really small amounts. But in general, the saying holds true. It takes money to make money. The guys that you see, for the most part, that are posting massive payouts, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000, days and weeks and payouts, it's not their first 50K XFA. Okay, for the most part, again, maybe I'm just speculating here, but for the most part, they are utilizing combines and XFAs as tools. They are taking on the risk of blowing multiple of those accounts on the way to a really big return on their initial investment, which is all the combines and activation fees and resets that they pay, towards those big payouts. So, I think it's important to help shape expectations as well. A lot of guys on Twitter and Instagram, you see that stuff and you think, oh man, all I got to do is pay $50 and get my one combine and, I'll be right there. You can. I think it's a lot longer road than if somebody handed you $10,000 and said, start buying 150K combines and get yourself into XFAs, get a whole bunch of backup XFAs, trade them aggressively, and work yourself towards some pretty nice payouts. Just risk management. Same with a live account, man. If you're trading a $100 live account, are you going to expect the same type of P&L that you would on a $100,000 account, even if you traded exactly the same? No, you're not. So keep it relative, keep your expectations, clear. Understand your level where you're at. Jordan, that's a good question. I don't know if that is an edgeful stat. Is it true the high or low of the day forms by 11 a.m. 70% of the time? Let's find out if that is a stat from Edgeful. There's a lot of reports on here, man. I've been paying attention to a handful that I can really start to focus in on and watch play out without trying to pay attention to 100 of them. But hop in the free Discord, man. I'll check that out because I'm only going to be on here for another 15 minutes or so. I'll run through the reports and check out if there is one on here that shows that. And if there's not, I'll see if I can customize one. Because you can customize all these reports for different time frames, different amounts of data, different times of the day. It's really, really cool the way that you can play with these. And if there's something on here that they don't have that's objective, you can request a custom report. They will build out custom reports if it's 100% objective data, which is really, really helpful, man. Something that you would pay somebody to run through and do an enormous amount of statistical research through backtesting data. It's very, very, very useful. So I'll find that out, Jordan. Hop in the free Discord, man, and ask me in there. I will let you know. I'll try to check that out later. One of the stats that is close to that, since we're on it. Let's look at one of these stats that is somewhat close to that is this one right here. This is the initial balance breakout report. Initial balance is the first 1 hour of the opening, the first 1 hour opening range. This is on YM over the last 6 months of data. What this is showing is once that 1 hour opening range is set, that high and low, it typically does not come back and break both sides of that. If it sets that 1 hour range, breaks the initial balance to the upside, it typically does not come all the way back down and break that initial balance low to the downside. That's typically the low of the session, not the low of the day, because this is just measuring that first 1 hour during the NYSE session. But you can see that 69.47 over the last 6 months. About 70% of the time, it only breaks out to one side. Interesting one. Can give you some bias for the day. If you're targeting a break of the other side, maybe you're taking a short on a day where we've already broken to the upside. You can be aware, only happens 25% of the time. But maybe I can customize one in here to find exactly what you're asking on that one. And if not, I might ask them. A couple of good reports that I've been playing with, some different stuff outside of just the ones that I've talked about. The gap fill, the initial balance, the 15-minute opening range, power hour breakout, the 1 hour opening candle continuation. Those are the reports that I've really been paying attention to. Again, easy to use, easy to see. Some are a little bit more obvious than others, but they're around the times that I trade, the morning and power hour. So they're helpful. Yeah, guys, I don't think I'm getting anything. We're coming into MOC, 50 seconds. I do want to check this out. Market on close, we get data that comes in and typically causes an increase in volatility. I'm interested to see on a pretty red day how this data comes across the wire. So got about 30 seconds to that. Let's see if we get an uptick in volume and volatility on this next 5-minute candle that prints. But again, man, appreciate you guys hanging out on here. If you're still on, feel free, hit like, hit subscribe. If you want to check out the tools that I'm using, the stuff that I'm partnered with, Bookmap and Edgeful, links in the description, links in the chat. You could hop in the free Discord if you're not already. I'll throw that in the chat as well. Live trading, analysis, questions answered. Oh no, I messed it up. Here we go, 350, not a whole lot. Hop in the free Discord, man. We'll be happy to have you guys in here. No trade session, man. I've been having a lot of these. A lot. Jumped over to Power Hour. Figured I would be able to find some sweet setups. Just not playing for me, man. And I got to trade. I got to get some combines traded. I'm just gonna have to lever up. Increase risk on the trades that I do get. Yeah, not a whole lot for 350. Very quiet market on close. Yeah, not too much out of Bookmap. Guys, on this note, I'll wrap it up here. I appreciate you being here. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing you see or hear from me is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything. I'm just an idiot on YouTube. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. You're probably going to lose money if you trade. Hit like, subscribe. I said that too many times, but feel free to. If you don't want to, free means free. You don't have to do anything. Hope to see you in Discord. Hope to see you back on here the rest of the week for Power Hour about 2:30, 2:45 p.m. Eastern. Trading live straight from TopstepX and reviewing my trades from the morning. Talk to you guys soon. Be easy. Have a great rest of your day.